The greatest threat to the system is not chaos. It's someone who refuses to play by its rules. Here's the truth. The world doesn't fear those who follow the script. They fear the ones who tear it to shreds, the ones who turn every no into a fuel source for their relentless fire. In a society that thrives on compliance, your defiance is the equivalent of flipping the table in a game you were never meant to win. Did you know that nearly 70% of people go along with decisions they know are wrong just to avoid conflict? That's right, most people choose to stay silent while injustice flourishes. But not you. You didn't just refuse to sit at the wrong table, you built your own. And now? They're sweating, panicking, and wishing they'd never underestimated you. Let's be honest, they didn't want revolution. They wanted robots. Instead, they got you. A storm wrapped in determination, armed with a wit sharp enough to cut through their illusions. And if the system thinks you're the problem, it's only because you're the cure. Number 1, the defiance that rewrites rules. Chosen ones aren't bound by rules that were never meant to serve them. They don't fit neatly into boxes, and they don't follow paths carved out by others because those paths were designed to control, not empower. When they step into the scene, they don't ask for permission or look for validation. They rewrite the playbook entirely. That's what makes them dangerous to the system. The very structure they were expected to uphold becomes the thing they dismantle. Not out of rebellion for rebellion's sake, but because it's outdated, broken, and standing in the way of progress. Defiance isn't just resistance. It's a statement that says, this no longer works, and I refuse to accept it. It's not about being difficult or contrarian. It's about knowing the rules don't apply when the game itself is rigged. The chosen ones see the flaws in the foundation that everyone else ignores, and instead of stepping over the cracks, they dig them up for everyone to see. They don't just push back, they redefine. And that's what has them sweating. The system thrives on predictability, on people playing their roles without question. But when someone refuses to play, it throws everything into chaos. It exposes the limits of their control. Suddenly, their power isn't as secure as they thought. Your defiance doesn't just challenge their authority. It forces them to confront the fact that their rules were never sustainable in the first place. Chosen ones don't destroy for the sake of destruction. They evolve. Every step you take toward breaking down what no longer works opens the door for something better. And while they scramble to hold on to their fragile illusion of order, you've already begun creating something they never saw coming. Number 2. Fear is the loudest compliment. Fear is one of the most revealing emotions. It doesn't hide well. When people fear you, it's not because they think you'll fail, it's because they're terrified you'll succeed in ways they never could. That's the sweat on their brows, the nervous glances, the whispered conversations behind your back. It's not your presence that unsettles them. It's the possibility of your potential. Your every step toward success feels like a direct threat to the systems they've built their identities around. When you walk into the room, you're not just another player, you're a disruption. They see in you a strength they've tried to suppress in themselves. You didn't ask for their permission, and that's what keeps them awake at night. Their fear isn't random. It's a compliment disguised as discomfort. It says, you have something I don't, and I don't know how to control it. And the truth is, they hate what they can't control. You're not the villain of their story, you're the mirror. You reflect the compromises they've made, the dreams they abandoned, the courage they lacked. And that's what terrifies them most. Because if you can break free, if you can defy the rules they've obeyed for so long, then their excuses for compliance start to fall apart. Every obstacle they throw your way, every attempt to undermine you, is proof of how much they fear your potential. They don't want you to succeed because your success would make them irrelevant. And the irony? Their fear is fuel. The more they sweat, the more it proves you're on the right path. You don't need their approval or understanding, you only need to keep moving. Because their fear is just another sign that you're destined for something greater.